Hi, I'm Stephanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast. Okay, so here we are. Chaotic Compass Podcast. Stephanie here. Solo episode today. Thanks for joining in. I know been kind of absent, and just life sucks sometimes, and you just got to get through it. But here I am, and so thanks for joining in. So today I wanted to kind of start off with, if you're watching it on YouTube, I actually had makeup on. I did my makeup today. Woohoo! Like one of those do a little happy dance moments of Stephanie put an effort to look half decent today. I had a job interview this morning. Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute. That hot shit sandwich for a minute. So the business is struggling, to just put it lightly, and doesn't look like it's going to be able to afford Stephanie in the next few months. And so Stephanie's trying to get ahead of it, and I don't know why I'm talking about myself in the third person, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to afford me. And so here I am. I just got out of a job interview virtually. Yeah, never done one of those before, right? It's always been shake your hand, how are you, kind of thing. And even the whole process, and maybe I'm naive to the whole labor shortage thing, but I assumed, and there we go, assuming, I assumed that because places need people so badly, if you come in with a certain level of qualifications, which I did for this position, or at least I thought it did, then, hey, we need somebody, you're hired. But no. Apparently, at least with this company, there's a slew of interviews. And this was just round one. It was literally 8 minutes long. 8 minutes. I hopped on, and she told me about what the position, details of the position, and she told me details about the company. She asked me for details about me and my qualifications that I think would be applied to that position. And that was it. 8 long minutes of that's it. And she's like, okay, all right, I'm going to pass this off to the HR manager, and he should be contacting you within the next week or so. Oh, I thought that, hey, we need somebody that can start immediately. Are you available? Let's go. So the reason why I'm looking for jobs is because our business is struggling. It has been all year, but at least there's been some amount of income coming in. And now there is no income coming in because the wind is either blowing, we've got small craft advisories, or I'm trying to reinvent the wheel because we're only using the smaller boat. We're not using the bigger boat. I mean, I'm down to one captain and 2 part-time mates right now. So here we are. And just really disappointed in the direction that this company has gone in the last year, and did not anticipate that. I was hoping that by now the lawyer would have done what he needed to do, and we would have been awarded the loss of revenue and the loss of momentum income by now, because that happened in July, and it's December now. But there I go with my poor little naive heart thinking differently. So so it's either we need to sell the second boat, or Steph needs to find a job. And it took me a while to get my husband on board with selling the second boat. even with all of the numbers, proof, here's the numbers, I'm running them up and down, it's not sustainable. If we cut ties with this boat, it'll, we'll make this much. Hopefully, even if we don't make exactly this much, it would still be a cash influx to get us through the cold winter days. But my husband is stubborn. Shout out to all my stubborn people out there. My husband is stubborn, and he's having a hard time letting go of the idea that this boat could have been so much more. Business is fun, y'all. Oh my gosh, business is so great. Oh my God. I don't want to deter anybody from getting into business, but that's not what I'm trying to do right now. It's just, last year I was, my nose is itching. Sorry for you guys on YouTube. But last year was so hard for me working this and working my real job. It's just, I can't burn both ends of the candle. I can't. And I burnt myself out. And then this year I'm like, okay, I'm going to be totally focused on this, and it's just going to be, and I tried to do it all. 7 days a week, it all. And I burnt myself out again. And I don't know how to get this company to be sustainable to a point where it can afford me in the off season. I had ideas, I had direction, I had, I don't even know. I tried so many different things, but it didn't work, and I feel like a failure. But I have to take that different mindset and be like, okay, I wasn't a failure. It's just my ideas were failures, and I'm not a failure. And so I just got to keep moving on. I know what not to do. Isn't that funny? Like, you go through so many hard things and you learn what not to do. But does anybody really learn what to do? I guess it's like that Thomas Edison, like how many times did he try to make the light bulb? Like hundreds. And so I got to keep looking at it like that. Like, eventually I'll get it right. But even then, even when I get it right, I still got to like perfect it and make the wheel rounder. And it's a lot. I don't think people really understand when you get into business exactly everything that is involved. I mean, I was involved with it last year and I still didn't realize everything that was involved. So here I am, job hunting in an oversaturated market of I need somebody now. And I just thought that it would be a little bit easier to find something quicker. I know that I could go down to the local grocery store or the gas station or something like that I could get hired right then. But it's like I'm being selective, and maybe I'm being too selective. I don't know. I figured it'd be a little bit easier, and I'm super naive to this. I mean, I haven't had a job interview in 4 years. Yeah, and that wasn't even really a job interview. Like, that was, I know who you are, I know what you're capable, I know where you came from, and this is what we can offer you. Would you like to start on Monday? So I guess technically my last job interview was like 6 years ago. So I'm not up to par with job interviews. And so I didn't know there was a whole huge process. But anyways, that's what's been going on. And Stephanie's super duper struggling right now as far as mental capacity. And that's a main reason why I have not been present. As you heard with my last episode, I lost one of my best friends in October. And I had a really hard time with that. And now I'm having a really hard time that our business is not doing as well as I'd hoped. And so just one more shit sandwich for 2021. So,
I don't want to even list off all of the crappy things. And it's like, here we are, one more thing. All right, how do we do how do we deal with it? What's next? Just keep going. Just keep going, Steph. And that's what I've been doing. And when I lost my best friend, I had 4 days and I went down to Georgia to be with his family and to be at his memorial service. And yeah, that I took 4 days off and I realized, God, like, when's the last time you sat and sipped a cup of coffee and actually looked at the sunrise? I couldn't tell you. When's the last time you actually sat down and sipped a cup of coffee and you weren't working? That's an even bigger question. And I slowed down and I think it all caught up to me. Like I was running from a tsunami. And it finally caught up to me. And so the end of October and most of last month in November was just hard. My birthday is in November and I didn't even want to celebrate it. I felt like Thanksgiving was just, I even rolled my eyes at that. I know I should be thankful and that's not the meaning of Thanksgiving, but it's like we had 3 Thanksgivings. One with my family, one with my husband's dad's side of the family, and then with my husband's mom's side of the family. And so all the Thanksgivings, and I was just like, I'm over it. I can only eat so much turkey in a short amount of time, and I just wasn't feeling it. I don't want to even celebrate Christmas. If I didn't have kids, I would not celebrate Christmas. Christmas is not my favorite holiday. But the mental capacity that I am at, like I maxed out a long time ago, but I was just trying to keep pushing forward on to the next. What's next? What do I got to do? And I really realized I don't want to keep living like this. I mean, there was some hard conversations with my husband of, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Why? Who told us that we have to keep pushing hard to get a reward? Like work hard, earn rewards hard. I don't know. I know it's work hard, play hard, but we aren't really playing hard. I'm reading this book now. It's by Denise. Yeah, I'll have to put her in the show notes. Denise DT, and it's called Chillpreneur. I'm only on chapter 2, but it is that man mindset of you have to keep going, crush the competition, slaughter them, that whole mentality. And that's what I thought you had to do to be successful in business. And I know that's my husband. Keep working, keep, slaving away, go, go, go. If you slow down, you're not earning money. That's wasted time. Yeah. So how about that, you guys? Because when you work your ass off 7 days a week and then the company still doesn't have enough money to pay for you, that, and I'm gonna cuss, fucking sucks. Being real. Like, I'm not even gonna edit that out. Fucking sucks. I've worked my ass off this whole fucking year. So many freaking blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this year, and the company can't afford me. That is like a punch in the fucking gut. But I'm trying to get past my pride and my ego. And, okay, so what does this family need right now? Because I can't think about what the business needs right now. The business still does need somebody that's going to have to do that, but I'm going to have to do it after hours and still burn the candle at both ends and just not get paid for it like I did last year It is what it is. But I need to figure out how to pay for my bills. And I need to figure out how to pay to go to therapy. Because this chick needs some freaking therapy after losing her best friend who was only 35 freaking years old. How to, pay for actual health care. We're not paying for our health care right now because we can't freaking afford it. Hashtag real life entrepreneur right here. Like also my neck is freaking jacked up. Like it's supposed to bend at a curvature and it is wanked backwards, and all the stress I have in my neck, it's clamping down on it. So there's a nerve that goes through and down my arm, and sometimes my left arm and left arm and hand go numb. I went to a chiropractic appointment to a new place that I had found, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's $20, and we'll take some X-rays." But they didn't adjust me. They were like, "Hey, this is your neck is fucked. Your neck is." I mean, they didn't say that. Obviously, they were more professional, used actual terminology, and showed me all the pretty pictures of how it is fucked. But they didn't adjust me, and they're like, "Come back tomorrow, and we'll talk about your payment plan." So $20 there, and then $70 for the next appointment. Okay, they, crack-a-lackin', and then put heat stuff on my neck, and then they did electrodes on my neck, and they're like, okay, you need to come back 3 times a week for a month, and then we'll cut you back to 2 times a week for a couple of months, and I'm going to pay $70 per visit? I'm sorry. And what freaking world is that affordable? I don't get it. I don't know. I can't. I'm like, straight up. I'm like, I'll pay for the $70 for today, but tell me what I need to do at home, and that's it. I can't go back. So I've been trying to figure that out. And most days I've worked it out to where it's okay, but holy shit, it's bad. But I don't have the money. So I need to figure out what's best for Stephanie, not what's best for the company. I've been so focused on trying to keep that company alive, and the company didn't love me back. Poured into it, and it didn't pour back into me. Bitch. Needy bitches. That's what it is. That's what I feel like right now. Like everybody's a fucking needy bitch. And I'm sorry, Kylie, if you're listening to this. That's my daughter. But God, everybody's a freaking needy bitch right now. Like my husband needs everything, and the businesses need everything, and my kids, bless their hearts, but they need shit, and I'll give them a pass. But they got to be picked up from school. They got to be dropped off from school. Oh, they got, we got to go pick up cookie dough from the fundraiser sale. And, oh, you've got a Winterfest. And, oh, you've got school plays. And, oh, you've got a performance this Saturday that nobody freaking told me about. And I'm already signed up for other things. And it's like, what the fuck? So much expectations. And we're getting into the season where Stephanie doesn't do well to begin with. Okay? I have seasonal depression. You know what that is? That is you get super, super depressed when the days get shorter and it gets colder. Because my favorite time of the year is when I can actually go out on the boat and actually enjoy and get a little bit of a tan, and I don't look pasty, freaking ghostly white like Casper. Okay? That's it. And vitamin D actually helps you, so whatever. But look it up if you don't know what it means. And so I know already going into December and January and February that I'm going to be struggling. And I'm already there. I'm already at this level of, oh my God, I can't take anything else. God obviously knows that I'm a badass bitch, but I can't take anything else. And here we are, getting ready to go into seasonal depression mode, and I'm trying to have a better mindset about it, but I know it's going to happen because I hate being cold. I hate it. I hate the cold. I hate snow. It's the worst season ever. If you like snow, good for you. If you like this season, good for you. But it's, even when the weather changes, my whole neck, freaks out even more. Pretty sure it's arthritis at 36 years old. Would have. But feel like the expectations are set, right? Like you're going into Christmas and there's already high expectations. Okay, get this. So Christmas this year falls on a Saturday. Cool. Well, every other year we have the kids' Christmas morning to open up presents. But this year is not our year for Christmas morning, which, it sucks, but it is what it is. We share. And so, and it also falls on a weekend that's not ours. So there's a whole level of already Christmas is going to cause some chaos, okay? And so we're trying to figure out, okay, all right, so we'll try to do, if I can get the kids on Sunday, and okay, all right, so we'll do Christmas dinner with my parents and my sister and her family on the 26th. Okay, all right, well, we need to get with your mom and see when we can do it with her. Is she available the 27th, and see if she might be able to take a day off from work, and we'll just go up Sunday night and spend the night and spend that whole day with her. And she, and then it was like, or maybe we can do it the weekend before. And so we sat down on Thanksgiving. I've been telling my husband 2 weeks prior to Thanksgiving, I'm like, you need to go call your mom. You need to call your mom, because I already see that Christmas is going to be like NASA level top coordination, and I'm already freaking out about it. So if you could help me in my massive anxiety to sit down, or give your mother a call and say, hey, this is what we've got going on. What are your thoughts? Because you can't just like have Christmas, right? You can't just have one Christmas when you've got, my kids' dads, and then my husband's ex-wife, and then you've got my mom, my sister, my husband's mom. We've got, there's NASA level freaking coordination here, right? You can't just have one Christmas. So you've got all these expectations from all these people. And so we're trying to coordinate with my husband's mom. And so he waits until Thanksgiving, which wasn't on Thanksgiving. It was round 3 for Thanksgiving, to ask about Christmas. And it's like, okay, fine, we'll do it here. And so she was like, oh yeah, that doesn't work for me. And I'm like, well, what about the weekend before Christmas? She's like, well, I'm going down to Florida to visit with my sister. And I'm like, well, fuck. When am I supposed to get time to, open presents with you and the kids? And she was like, well, you guys could just come down to Florida. Do you think you want to pass that by your sister first? And so they literally, my mother-in-law's husband, now, we call him Grandpa Wally, he called Diane down in Florida and was like, hey, so this is the predicament we're in. How do you feel about adding 6 more people to our Christmas when we come down? And it's like, and she was like, and the whole time I'm like, you don't have to say yes. This feels like, and then my mother-in-law gets on the phone with her brother-in-law down in Florida. So we've got my mother-in-law and her husband on the phone with the brother-in-law and sister-in-law down in Florida. Tag teaming. Like, this is a great idea. We should totally just bring 6 people into your house and bombard you for Christmas. It's going to be great. What the? Oh, okay, sure, yeah, all right, yeah. And they went with it. And so, all right, well, that's one thing, Downs. But now we've got to talk to my husband's ex-wife and see if that works for her, because it's Florida and we're not going to freaking fly down, because I'm not balling like that to take 6 people down to freaking Florida on a plane. And so we're going to have to get the kids that Friday, and 2 of them have half days and the other 2 are actually in school full day on that Friday before. And so, well, now we got to get the kids out of school, and then they're out for 2 weeks after that, so that Monday really isn't a big deal, but you still got to pass it by the freaking parents, the other parents. Even if it is our weekend, you can't just snag a kid on a random Thursday night and be like, yeah, thanks, it's our weekend, bye. So we got to get it coordinated with my husband's ex-wife and my ex-husband's. Hey, let's make sure that this is okay. The one ex-husband's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Doesn't, he's the cool one. Like, he doesn't give a shit. Like, whatever, you want to take her to outer space, that's fine. Just, have her back by 5. And then my other ex-husband was like, ooh, we were planning, because I was going to try to see if we can flip some days around because my wife now has to work the whole weekend of Christmas. And I'm like, here we go. And then, my husband's ex-wife was like, yeah, totally, it's fine. But I'm just saying NASA level coordination, right? And so apparently now we're going to fucking Florida. 6 people in the car for, I think it was like 10 hours. That was 10 hours nonstop to go to a person's house I think I've met twice now, 3 times maybe in the 6 years that my husband and I have been together. Go down to her house in Florida for Christmas, for a Christmas. Cool. Now I've got to buy presents for her and him because you can't just show up to the freaking house without, and their dogs. They have 2 dogs. And so, like, great, cool. Oh, God. But what is with the expectations, right? You can't just, like, have Christmas. It's expectations of, well, that doesn't work for me, so I need you to adhere. What it used to be for me, and this isn't how my husband was, and so this is kind of where we've been tipping a lot with the Christmas bullshit. My parents would keep us at the house for Christmas, and then if you wanted to come and bring presents, you needed to show up at our house. And it was literally like a revolving door. My grandparents would come in, my uncle, I had a couple of aunts that lived close by, they would come in, and it was literally like a revolving door. We had food in the kitchen, grab you a plate, come in, sit down, bullshit, games on, whatever. That was it. That was our Christmas. I never had to go anywhere. And so me running around with 16 different Christmases is fucking exhausting. And I can only imagine for my kids because they got extra Christmases with their dads and with their mom. And so I don't understand how some people do it. It's exhausting for me. And it's the beginning of December, and I've been trying to plan this for 2 weeks, and we just got it hammered down like the other day. And it was like, and then even when I asked my sister, I'm like, hey, so this is what we were thinking. She was like, we just had Thanksgiving. Why are you talking about Christmas? And I was like, what the fuck? I have to plan this because I've got 4 children and 97 other people to appease here. Does the 26th work for you or not? Well, you're the only one that's said anything about Christmas, so we will happily oblige since you were the first. Cool. Great. See you then. Love you. Mean it, but sorry. Jeez. Nothing against my sister. I'm just irritated by the whole damn thing. I'm just irritated. And I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be this irritated, pissed off person around my kids, around everybody. And all I want to do is just not. Like, fast forward through Christmas and be done. But whatever. So here we are. Today, I'm not drinking. Not that I'm not drinking. I'm just not drinking on this episode. I'm just going to keep it wholesome. I would like to cheers with a cup of water to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me bitch. I cussed a lot in this episode. I think that's kind of what I'm going to keep doing because I cuss a lot and it just feels better is to try to not censor myself. So I apologize if that's a problem, but sorry, not sorry. I'm trying my best here. Okay. Cheers to you guys. Thanks. Have a great day. Have a great night. Be awesome.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Chaotic Compass Podcast. We appreciate it. And if you would like to get notifications, please subscribe and tell all your friends. See you next time.